Bryson. Hey, y'all, Bryson. You little scary thing. Y'all look at his eyes. Yeah. Y'all, isn't he just so cute? He's the cutest. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Why are you so cute, baby? Yeah. Say hi, Brandon.
Hi.
No, you say hi.
Hi.
Hi guys, it's V. Welcome back to my channel. This is literally like the third or fourth time I tried to record this video. The first time I tried to record it when Bryson was 4 weeks old. This boy about to be 3 months old tomorrow on January the 1st. So, y'all lucky. Well, I'm not gonna say y'all lucky because not a lot of people watch my channel, so of course y'all not lucky. I'm lucky that y'all even watching this video because I done tried and tried, and I gave up last time. The last time I tried to record it is when I was 6 weeks postpartum, or he was 6 weeks old. He's 12 weeks old now, so, well, 13 weeks old now, so I'm gonna get this one more try. And y'all, I'm sorry I'm looking raggedy. I just recorded this video on a whim. I just washed my hair. So if I would have knew that, it's like in a little bun. If I would have knew that I was going to record this video, I would have never washed my hair. Because my hair was straightened. I would just wore it straight in the video. So, yeah, y'all. I hope I remember everything now. It's been 3 months. So I hope I remember. And I have my favorite comfy dress. And you would know this is my favorite dress if you watched me on Snapchat. And y'all, I just got to pull these socks out of my boobs. I had them in because I was leaking. And I don't know if y'all can see them. So I just had to pull these socks out of my boobs, okay? Birdman's in the bed. Hopefully he don't get me copyrighted with the iPad playing music or whatever else he be doing on that crap. Bryson is right here in the swing. So hopefully these two chill out and Bryson waits to make his debut until the end of the video. So, we starting this back. Last time y'all seen me, I was like 15 weeks pregnant. And I was supposed to do weekly updates with y'all nursing school. It killed me. So, I didn't do weekly updates. But I can like key y'all in if y'all want to know what all happened on my pregnancy. It was just like a typical pregnancy. It was just like my pregnancy with Bran. I'm short and I'm skinny. My body is not made for bearing babies. So, my pregnancies can get a little rough because I'm built like a 12-year-old. So yeah, last time y'all seen me, I was 15 weeks pregnant. I had heartburn, route ligament pain, morning sickness, everything that you think that can happen. I developed preeclampsia in the end, just like I did with Bran, because again, I'm built like a 12-year-old and not made for making babies. So we're gonna start it off. So this happened, y'all know my due date was the same day as my pending and graduation. Well, actually, first my due date was the day after my pending and graduation for nursing school. And then it got changed until the same day as my pending and graduation for nursing school. So, my last week of school went a little, well, the last 2 weeks of school. Y'all know Hurricane Irma. I live in Florida. Be quiet, boo-bee. Y'all know Hurricane Irma hit, so that threw us, that made school go back a week because we were out a whole week because of the hurricane. So, after Hurricane Irma, the week after Hurricane Irma, which was like the week of like, I don't know, like September the 19th or something like that, was my last 2 days of clinicals, and I almost missed one of the last 2 days of clinicals because I was having contractions so bad, which was just false labor. I was like 38 weeks pregnant. I was having a lot of false labor pain, so I almost called off from clinicals, but I didn't. I still went, and I didn't go into labor, thank God. And then the next week, which was the last week of school, I had another clinical, so another 12-hour clinical. And then we had NCLEX prep on, we had Monday was a clinical, and then we had Tuesday off. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was NCLEX prep. Tuesday I had a doctor's appointment. They didn't check my service or anything. This boy want to make his debut right now. So let's introduce you, little man. Y'all, this is Bryson. Say hi, Bryson. Last time y'all seen him was my labor and delivery vlog, or if you caught the video up before I put it on private, was the day he got surgery. So this is Mr. Bryson. Look, Bryson. He looking scared. Can y'all see his eyes? His eyes are green. He's so pretty. But, yeah. Where was I at? Okay, the last week of school. So on Tuesday, I went to the doctor, right? They didn't check my cervix or anything, but she said I was, I was having practicing hits while I was in the office. Wednesday, the first day of the NCLEX review, on the way there, I was having contractions every 5 minutes. But I consider them Braxton hits because they were irregular. They would be every 5 minutes. Then on that Wednesday, on the way to my NCLEX review, I started having contractions every 5 minutes. Well, no, it was actually since I woke up. It was like, because I had to get up at like 6 in the morning. So I was having contractions every 5 minutes. And that continued on until about 12 o'clock that day. Because I remember in my NCLEX review, me and my two friends that I was sitting by, we were timing my contractions. They were every 5 minutes to every 7 minutes. And then they spaced out every 10 minutes after like 3 or 4 hours. And then Thursday, I didn't go to school. I didn't go to the NCLEX review because I was still having... No, I did go to the NCLEX review, but I left early because, again, I was having Braxton Hicks. Friday, I got up. Brandon used to get up at work at 3:25 or something like that. He got up for work at 3:25, and I got up to go to the bathroom. When I got up, I felt something, rolling down my leg. So I like hurried up and went to the bathroom, and I wiped, and it wasn't clear. It was like a reddish brown. If you ever know, serum sanguinis, I guess you can say, if you're a nurse, you know what I mean. It was like that kind of color. So I wiped, and I showed Brandon, and I was like, I don't think it's my water, but it's like keep dripping out wherever I go. So I texted my teacher, and I was like, hey, I think my water just broke. I'm gonna go to the doctor. They're gonna test me just to make sure. My doctor's office didn't open at 8:30, so I called them, and they were like, oh, we don't take walk-ins. I'm like, I think my water just broke, and I don't want to go to the hospital if it didn't really break. So I went to my doctor's office, and she felt my stomach. She said I was actually contracting. I didn't feel anything at that time. So I was having contractions, and then she tested it, and she made me cough, and more didn't come out. She tested it, and it was negative for amniotic fluid. So my water did not break. And she said that I was 1 centimeter dilated. So I then went home, and me and Brand, we like to gym out. So at around 10:30, 11 o'clock, me and him, we had like a 30-minute dance fest. And then we took a nap. I woke up from the nap at 2:35 on the dot, because I always look at my phone when I wake up. And I was having contractions. That's what woke me up in the first place. And them things hurt. They were 5 minutes apart and lasting about 30 seconds apiece. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna chill out, because Brandon Boss is a douche. He was like, before, when I had false labor, the day that I told y'all, the clinical day, he was like, oh, you have to finish your whole route before you can go with her. So I was like, okay. So I'm just wait till Brandon get off, because he usually get off until around like 4:30. So I'm like, hey, little boy, you need to chill out until your daddy get off work, and then you can come as much as you want, because we don't need your daddy getting fired because I went into labor, because he will leave his job to come to me. So he got home around 4:30, and we were going to Sonic's, and I was still having contractions at the time, every 5 minutes, 30 seconds, lasting 30 seconds. So we were supposed to go to Sonic's, and because I had a real nasty craving for Sonic's corn dogs. Oh my gosh. Every day I had to eat 3 Sonic's corn dogs. They were so good. I don't like them no more now because I ate them so much while I was pregnant. But yeah, so we were headed to Sonic's, and then right when he got by Sonic's, he was like, oh crap, I forgot to have an appointment to get my hair cut today. His appointment was at 5 o'clock, so no, 5:30. He took him a little while to get home. So we went, instead of getting Sonic's, we went to his barber shop. And me and Brand sat in the car for about 30 minutes while he got his hair cut. And I don't know if y'all ever had a contraction before, but sitting in the car with a 1-year-old in your lap squiggling, like wiggling around, is not the best feeling in the world. Like, I was in so much pain. So he came out the barber shop. He was like, do you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, no, not yet. They're still only 5 minutes apart. I can walk, I can talk through them, but I can't really do much through them. And then, did you throw up? No, it's just slow. So I'm like, okay, so we still going to Sonic's because I need to eat just in case I go to the hospital. So we went to Sonic's, and we got our corn dogs. We sat there for about 20 minutes. I'm still contracting through the whole thing. And then we went home, and as y'all know, I live with my mama still because, the whole college thing, we wanted to save money until I got done with college. which we moving out soon though. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. I was still contracting every 5 minutes, and at this point my mom was like, hey, just go to the hospital. Even though you're handling it well, go to the hospital because you never know. Because with Brand, when I was in labor and didn't even know, I was 4 centimeters when I got to the doctor's office, and he sent me to the hospital because I was contracting, and he just wanted to get it moving on. You can watch that video. I keep getting off track, but I will leave that video down below, my birth story with him. So yeah, so we went to the hospital, and that's where my birth vlog started off. I was bouncing on the bouncy ball. They checked me, and I was 3 centimeters dilated, and I wanted a VBAC. So she was like, okay, so we're going to check you again at 11:30. This is around 9. We're going to check you again at 11:30. If you progress, you can stay. If you haven't, we're going to send you home, because if you stay, you're probably going to end up with a C-section. Another C-section. So I'm like, okay. So I stayed there, I walked around, bounced on the bouncy ball, and while I was bouncing on the yoga ball, like some more of that stuff came out, and it was all over. They had like a blanket over the ball. It was all over the ball. And she's like, okay, that's a good sign. It looked like your labor's moving along. It's not your water, you're leaking. I don't know what it is. I'm not, even though I'm a nurse, I'm not in that field, so I don't know what it was. But it was like bloody blood. It was blood and mucus, and it's all over the ball. So I'm like, okay. She came back at 11:30. She's like, okay, you're only a 3 still, so we're going to send you home. Go get some Tylenol PM, which I still got because I don't take drugs, so I took it one time. So we went, as we're leaving out the hospital, it's a big old hospital. It's a long walk to that parking garage. We go to McDonald's because they have McDonald's in the hospital. So we're walking, and I literally can't walk through them. I'm almost in tears at this point, and Brandon's like, let's just go back up there, let her check again, maybe dial it more. I'm like, no, because I'm not about to walk all the way back up there just for them to send me back home. So I'm in McDonald's, bending over almost in tears. We're walking out. It took us about 5 minutes to get to the car, when it took us maybe longer than 5 minutes when it's normally like a 2-minute walk from McDonald's. So I kept having to stop because I was in so much pain. So we take that 25-minute drive back home, and we go to the CVS by our house, and you know, we walking around, we joking, because you know, if you've seen our videos, you know, we joke a lot, we play a lot, even when I'm in pain, or we still play a lot, even when we mad at each other. So we're in CVS playing, and the girl's like, you don't look like you're in labor. I'm like, girl, one more part, because somebody else had told me that at the hospital. I'm like, just because it's not like I'm having contractions constantly. No, I'm having a contraction, then I get a little break in between, and then I have another contraction. Obviously, y'all don't know how it works when you're in labor. So I'm like, no, it's just in between the contraction. If you see me while I have a contraction in here, you gonna know, because I'm gonna be looking ugly. So we went back home, and Brandon went to sleep. My mom had Brandon still. And we were in, I barely got any sleep. I got like 2 hours of sleep, if even that, because the Tylenol PM did not work. Every contraction, well, I probably skipped like 2 or 3 contractions sometimes, but every contraction I had, I could feel it, and I was in so much pain. And I went through like 4 pairs of underwear before I finally got some sense to put on the pad, because all that stuff was still coming out, and I had to throw all those underwear away because they did not come clean. Like, it was just nasty. It was really, really yucky. So the next day was Saturday morning. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I went and got Brandon from my mom, and Brandon was still asleep. And I took Brandon, and we went to Walmart, and I bought my own yoga ball, which I still got. I bought the yoga ball, and I came home, and I had Brandon pump it up for me because I woke him up when I got back. So I brought him to McDonald's. Yes, I drove while I was having contractions. Not the smartest thing to do, but I did. And you know, I'm bouncing the yoga ball, and the contractions got even more intense. But around 10 o'clock, Brandon went to the park. He wanted to go to the park and play basketball. He's like, call me. They get even worse when you want to go to the hospital. So it's around 11:30, and I finally gave in. I called him. I was like, hey, look at here. I can't do this. Get back to this house. We gotta go. We're going back to this hospital. I can't take it no more. Like, it was at that point, and my mom's still like, oh, you look so good for somebody in labor. I never seen somebody handle contractions as good as you. I'm like, mommy, shut up, you know, shut up. I'm handling contractions well because I don't like people to see me in pain. So he got back. When he got back, I gave him Brand, and I took a quick shower, and he took a shower. I changed and, you know, put on a new pad and all that good stuff. And we headed to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, he has to get off the interstate. If you live in Tampa, he got off in Ybor City, which is not too far from downtown Tampa, because he had to poop. Now, if you see my videos before, this boy always gotta poop. I promise, he has to poop at the worst times, right? So we stop at Burger King. He goes inside. He in there for no lie, like 10 to 15 minutes. Y'all, I'm in the car. I had to take off my seatbelt, and I'm leaning over the back of the seat, like dang there in tears, crying and moaning so loud. People were stopping, walking by inside of Burger King, looking at me. People in their cars next to me, looking at me. I'm like, I know y'all see this belly. Like, have y'all not seen somebody in labor before? Like, mind your business. So he come out after like 10 to 15 minutes with food. I'm like, I thought you had to poop. He's like, oh, the bathrooms was too dirty, so I just decided to get food because I'm not going to be able to get food while you're in labor. I'm like, boy, why would you do that? Like, you got me in pain in the car because you hungry? And he wasn't even hungry. He just wanted some food just in case. So you got me in pain because of you. You said you had to poop and you didn't even poop. So we get back in the car. He get back in the car. We head to the hospital. This time, the first time I went to the hospital, I walked all the way up there. The second time, I was in a wheelchair. And again, on the way up in the elevator, this lady was like, oh, you don't look like you're in labor. I'm like, yeah. And I was just like, yeah. I think Brandon think I was being rude. I wasn't being rude. I was just in pain. You know, you get tired of people telling you something like, you don't look like you're in pain. So Brandon's like, yeah, she's in labor. And he was talking and joking with the lady. We got off, and the security man was like, oh, we need to check you in. I'm like, I was here last night. You're not checking me in. You're going to send me back. He's like, oh, okay, you can just go straight back. I'm like, thank you. So we get to the desk in the triage station with the girl who put us in the room. And she's like, oh my goodness, how old are y'all? Y'all such an adorable couple. How long y'all been together? Y'all might as well get married, and y'all got 2 kids and da 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 da. And you know, I'm just laughing and all that stuff in between contractions. Again, she's like, you don't look like you're in labor. I'm like, girl, because you know, she was pretty relatable, so I gave it to her. I was like, girl, if one more person tell me this, I'm just gonna slap you. I'm just gonna slap you. She laughed because she was a nice girl. And she's like, she was laughing. And then I'm like, y'all ain't sending me home again. I told her this, just like this. I said, I'm not going home. So security gonna have to come and get me and take me because I'm not going home. And she's like, girl, you might as well just go home and go to a different hospital. Don't even do that. Don't go to jail while you're in labor. I'm like, girl, they gonna have to carry, and what's that? They gonna have to carry me out of here because I'm not walking out the door. And she's like, well, hopefully you progress more. So then she took me in the room and hooked me up and all that crap. And the nurse came in. And y'all, this, take it from a standpoint of a nurse, because I'm a nurse now, y'all. I passed my in class. This girl did not know how to do IV. She did my IV right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Right on my wrist bone. And then she didn't cap it fast enough, so blood started shooting across the room. It was blood everywhere. And she's like, oh my gosh, this never happened before. And she did my IV while I was having a contraction. She didn't wait in between contractions. No, she did it while I was having a contraction. So that made me even more mad. So then, after she did that, I let that go. This girl started asking me questions while I'm having contractions. And I just straight up told her, looky here, you're going to have to wait until this contraction passes. You a nurse, you can see on that contraction monitor when I'm having a contraction. So why you asking me a contraction? Why you asking me questions while I'm having a contraction? So then the nurse practitioner came, not nurse practitioner, midwife, because I went to a midwife group. She came and she checked me, and I was a 4. And she's like, okay, it's been over 24 hours since I was in labor at this point. She's like, since you've been in labor so long, and since you dilated 1 more centimeter, and you're at station 0, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give you a room. I'm like, yes, like, yes, thank you, Lord. I almost want to hug and kiss that lady, y'all. And then the nurse I was getting transferred to in labor and delivery, she came and she had to help the girl clean up all the blood because that girl made a complete mess. I didn't like this nurse I got transferred to. Because soon as she came there, no, y'all, the first time, let me tell y'all this funny story. The first time I came there while I was in labor, they was like, what do you want to do for pain meds? I'm like, I want to go natural. You know, I want to try to go natural this time, okay? I don't want no pain pills. I'll let y'all know, though, but I think I want to go natural. This time, after being in labor for 24 hours, I'm like, y'all gonna give me an epidural, and before that epidural come, y'all gonna give me something else for pain. Like, I need something right now. And the midwife was like, okay, I'll make sure that the anesthesiologist comes. So then I transfer into my room. This is around like 1:30, 2:30, and she's I asked the nurse, can I get something for pain? Like, y'all told me anesthesiologist coming, but he ain't come yet. And it might be a little while. Can you please give me something for pain, some morphine, some something? And she's like, yeah, we will. This girl ain't come back until the anesthesiologist came at like 4 or 5. I forgot what time it was, but I said inside the birth flaw. It was like 4 or 5. So I was in so much pain. When our man came, I promise, I told him, like, I've never been so thankful to see somebody in my life. That's how much pain I was in. Like, I was in so much pain, y'all. So then my midwife came at 7:30 and checked me again, and I was still, was I 4 or 5? I was 5 centimeters dilated, I think. It was 4 or 5. No, it was 5, because I remember she said I progressed a little bit. And then she was like, okay, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and break your water. So she broke my water, and she said, I'm going to come back at 11:30 and see if you progress. But right now, I'm going to put you on a peanut ball. It's like this big old ball like a peanut that they put in between your legs. And then she was just changing, the nurse was changing me positions every 30 minutes. So then when the new nurse actually came at 7, and I was so happy to see her because I didn't like my other nurse. Like I said, she just had like a stank attitude. So the new nurse, I loved that girl. She was amazing. But she changed my position every 30 minutes. And when the midwife came at 11:30, I didn't progress any. I was still a 5. So she's like, okay, do you want to start Pitocin? I'm like, no, I really don't want to do Pitocin because, you know, with the VBAC, Pitocin can be very dangerous. It can increase your chances of rupture. So I asked Brandon. He said he didn't know. So, you know what I do? What any girl will do, I'll call my mama. So I'm like, Mommy, what do you think I should do? She's like, okay, give it a chance, but give it a few hours. If it don't work in a few hours, then, you know, go ahead with the C-section. So I'm like, all right, so I'll give it a few hours. And the midwife was like, at this point, your water's only been broke for 5 hours, so you have until 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So I'm like, okay. So she put me on the Pitocin, and at 2:30, she came back. Oh, by the way, I started feeling contractions through the Pitocin. And I'm like, oh, no. And at this point, I'm just super duper tired. I've been in labor for 38 hours. So at 2:30, she came, and I'm like, how many hours? No, I was at labor at 36 hours at this point. 2:30, she came, and I'm like, y'all gonna have to, like, I want a C-section. Like, I'm ready for a C-section. And they were like, the doctor's in there with somebody, but when she get done, we'll let her know to come do you. But it's up to her if she want to do it at this time of night. So then they wheeled me back for the C-section because I elected to get one because I was just, your belly, baby. At this point, I was over being in labor so long. Yeah, you see yourself. My camera cut off. But at this point, I was over being in labor so long. So the doctor, at around 3:30, they wheeled me back to the OR, got me prepped for the C-section. And I straight up told my nurse, like, I'm tired. I haven't got sleep in days. Bryson, your hands are not that good, baby. But I'm like, I haven't got sleep in days. So just to let y'all know, I'm about to go to sleep. Y'all can wake me up when y'all pulling the baby out so I can see, because they were going to put up a clear curtain to do it. So when the doctor came in, she prepped me, and, you know, she made the first cut. And she was like, do you feel this? I'm like, yeah, I can feel that. And then she's like, can you feel this? I'm like, yeah. And the next thing I know, I fell asleep. So Brandon said they weren't even cutting me when they did that. So he said I was just being dramatic. So I don't know. I felt like they was cutting me. Maybe it was all in my head, but I went to sleep afterwards, so I didn't even care. And Brandon told me they woke me up when they pulled the baby out, but I don't remember it at all. I was so tired. And then they gave me drugs for nausea. And, you know, nausea drugs, they put you they work just like morphine pretty much. So, and I have a low tolerance for drugs, so it pretty much put me out of it. So I was more out of it this time than I was at Brand, and I hate that. So yeah. So Brandon said they woke me up when they put the baby out. I don't remember. He said he looked over the curtain and it was the worst thing he ever did in his life. He's still traumatized about it. Every time he think about it, he tell me that it was just disgusting and he should never looked over. And then it was like they was gutting me open like a fish, and I don't know. He should never looked over the curtain knowing he got a weak stomach. But yeah, so he said they woke me up. I don't remember any of it, but apparently they did. And the next thing I remember is him showing me a picture, and it was a picture of a baby. But again, I was so out of it. I was like, who baby is that? Y'all promise when I looked at the picture, I was like, that's an ugly baby. I'm like, who baby is that? He's like, that's your baby. And I remember saying, no, it's not. And then again, I dozed off, and then I woke up to them bringing the baby bundle to me, and then we took a few pictures, and I was looking rough in the pictures because I was tired, y'all. I was looking real rough in the pictures. But yeah, and then afterwards they wheeled me into the recovery room where I was out of it again. They had Bryson on me nursing, but I was out of it. And I remember, the only thing I remember is my mouth being so dry, my lips being so dry, like I was chewing on cotton balls, and asking for ice because they wouldn't give me water. And they finally gave me ice. And I remember I tried to put ice on the table and I almost dropped it, and Brandon had to grab it and put it on the table for me. The next thing I remember is being wheeled into my room, and that's where my memory comes back in. And I was talking to the girl who was transporting me, telling her about that one nurse, the time that I went to have Brand, the one nurse that kept trying to go with Brandon when I was out of it. Yeah, that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, and then the rest is history. And then I stayed in the hospital for 3 days this time, and not 5 days like with Brand, or 2.5 days. My recovery this time was amazing. Like, I was up and walking, like, before the 12 hours were even over. I was like, as soon as they put me in there, I begged my nurse to let me get up, because I could feel my legs. I want to get up. I want this catheter taken out. I want to do everything by myself. So I told her that, and she let me. She let me get up and do everything by myself, and you know, my recovery was so good. He ended up having to go to a NICU because he has a rare disease, or they corrected it. He's my 1 in 5,000. He has a 1 in 5,000, and he had this rare disease, but he had a very, I'm gonna say, light or easy version of it. He was blessed that only a small portion of his bowel was affected. So he had a 5-hour surgery, and he came out a champ. He stayed in the hospital 10 days. Yeah, but 7 of the days he was NPO, so he couldn't eat anything, so he was not happy. But yeah, and then he was readmitted to the hospital twice after that. So the total, his whole first month of life, he spent 17 days in the hospital. But he's better now. Say, I am better than ever. Say, I'm better than ever. Yeah, say, I'm better than ever. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. This is my little fighter. So I was walking back and forth from the NICU. I lost all my pregnancy weight within 6 days, because I had my postpartum visit 6 days after surgery. I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. By 6 weeks postpartum, by 6 week days, I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight -3, so I was 3 pounds lighter than when I got pregnant. And then 6 weeks postpartum, I was 9 pounds lighter than that. So I am a total of, like, I can't count, y'all. I'm 12 pounds lighter than I was when I got pregnant now. So, yeah. But it's been a journey. It's been hard, but we made it through. Even through the 38-hour labor, and through all the pain, and 24 hours without pain medicine, and not getting the birth that I wanted. We made it through, and we will prevail. I ended up with 2 C-sections because Oh, apparently I make babies too big for my body. I'm 5 foot, so I'm short. I look big on video, but I'm really short and I'm really petite. I wear extra small in scrubs, so I'm really short and really petite. And I make big babies because, you know, Brandon is what? Brandon is 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds easily, and Brand was 7 pounds and 21 inches when he came out. Bryson was 7 pounds, 12 ounces and 20.5 inches, which they're bigger than average babies. So I probably will never be able to have a vaginal birth, sadly, and I don't really want more kids. Even I done rambled so much in this video, but y'all, thank you for sticking through my long labor and delivery story. I doubt a lot of people made it. Come here, Brand. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hey.
Hi.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He know how to talk now. He's potty training, which is why one of my other videos got messed up because he peed on the floor in the middle of my video. But sit down, baby. But yeah, I have a big boy. I have a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old now. And I'm done with college and we're about to move into our first apartment. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And he just opened the door. Bye, y'all.